Can't speak for all Gen Z, but personally as someone from Gen Z, I'll say this loud and clear. The corporate world is toxic. It's been rooted for years. Corporate culture, companies, employers, they've completely lost touch. They don't understand that generations change, the world changes, people change, and their system are supposed to change too. Our generation is growing up and we are the ones who will be building the economy, the ones shaping the future. So stop forcing new generations into old templates that just don't work anymore. Employers love pointing fingers at Gen Z, calling us lazy, soft, spoiled, saying we just want money to fall into our hands instead of actually looking at their own HR mess. Check your tone over rights. Everything's connected. Maybe the problem isn't that Gen Z doesn't want to work. Maybe you've just built a system no one wants to stay in. And I'll use a cliche here, but if everything around you seems like a crap, maybe it's you who messed up. We want to work. We want to earn. The question is under what conditions and in what kind of world? Because our generation, Gen Z, we actually understand that you can live differently. We have boundaries. We have self-worth. We get that work is just one part of life, not the entire point of it. We're not going to spend 80% of our lives working ourselves to death. We want to live with peace, with joy, without toxic bosses and unpaid overtime, with fair pay and normal management. Stop telling us to work for the idea. Stop calling every company a family, and stop thinking free coffee and cookies make up for zero vacations. Let's talk about the 3 toxic things you see almost everywhere. First, manipulative leadership. Bosses who guilt trip you, scare you, or buy you with money. When I started my first job, I already knew this isn't the life I want, but my manager was a master manipulator. He saw I was sensitive to guilt, fear, and duty, and he used it. That was back in 2022. He'd say things like, "So you're really living in times like this? We're a stable company, everyone needs money now. Who knows what's going to happen in the world?" And I believed him. I stayed another year thinking he was right. Second, sale targets and KPIs. You hit the plan? Well, could have been better. You miss it? Look at John. He has 130%. Why can't you? Even my mom, who works in the government office, had monthly targets. That's insane. Third, sick days. That's one's personal because I work with people. Constant stress and pressure wrecked my health. I get sick like every few months, and every time I felt like garbage for taking a sick day. "You know, John still works with a fever. Plants won't meet themselves. You can't afford to be sick your first 70 years in the company." That's what my boss used to say. So I'd work sick, get worse, and then still end up on the medical leave, completely burnt out. One more thing. Vacations. I took a week off in February. My boss said, "Didn't we just have New Year holidays? Why do you need another break?" Like, excuse me, it's my legal right to take time off. So why do you care when and why I rest? And the worst part, they love asking about your personal life. Why can't you stay late? Where did you go? Why don't you want to work weekends? That's none of your business. I even remember when I went for a promotion within the same company and they asked me, "Do you rent or own your apartment? Why did you start working so early? Shouldn't you be focusing on marriage and kids?" And I had to answer because I needed that job. But it's insane that this is normal. And we live in this system where